interesting developments with 3i Atlas, where it is going. Talking about EUPHEME, or it's called Jupiter LX. Let's talk about what that is first, before we then understand what 3i Atlas is doing. EUPHEME was discovered in 2003 and was named after a Greek mythological figure, EUPHEME. So EUPHEME is a tiny moon of Jupiter, but it's not big. It's not a big round moon as we imagine our moon, like Earth's moon. It's very small. It's only a few miles wide. And basically, really, it looks more like a space rock than an actual planet. And EUPHEME goes around Jupiter and not Earth, to make that clear. It orbits very far from Jupiter, actually, and its path is tilted and stretched. It's not really neat and circular, that's we can say. And very interesting about it is that it moves backwards, so compared to most other moons. And this is called a retrograde orbit. And because of that, scientists think that EUPHEME was not born with Jupiter. It was likely, and this is interesting, a captured asteroid that was captured by Jupiter. How did Jupiter do this? With its gravity that is quite strong. It has grabbed that asteroid and long time ago, but now it's still there. So EUPHEME is part of a group of irregular moons. And these moons are old, chaotic, and fragile. It's part of Jupiter's, how they call it, Ananke group, family of distant retrograde moons. And now let's get to interstellar object 3i Atlas that is on its way towards Jupiter. And it's getting close to EUPHEME. Where Jupiter is now, that's the current location. It's going away from the sun, it's going away from closest point to the Earth, and it's going towards Jupiter. It's basically half of its trip through our solar system. And the estimates are, according to Harvard professor Avi Loeb, that after about 8,000 years of entering the Oort cloud of the solar system at a distance of 100,000 times the Earth-Sun distance, interstellar object 3i Atlas is now, we don't want to say targeting Jupiter, but it's definitely going there. And it's expected to arrive on March 17th. And that is interesting. That's the forecasted gravitational trajectory, and also including this mystical non-gravitational acceleration that 3i Atlas shows. It's expected to arrive on March 17th, 2026 to within 30.46 million kilometers from Jupiter's irregular moon EUPHEME. Why is this interesting? Well, guys, because a day earlier, just a day before that date, on March 16th, 3i Atlas will be within, we've talked about this before, and listen to that number. Put it in your brain when I tell you the next number. So Atlas will be within 53.61 million kilometers from Jupiter itself, surprisingly close to Jupiter's Hill radius of 53.5 million kilometers. This is the area basically interior to which Jupiter's gravity dominates over the sun's tidal gravity. And that is highly interesting. Is this a coincidence that these numbers match so closely, 53.61 and 53.5? And we've talked about this. It's an anomaly. It's a mystery why it does that. EUPHEME, that's interesting. To get around Jupiter, it has an orbital period of 588 days around Jupiter, and it will reach its farthest distance from Jupiter on January 3rd, 2026, and that's its 27.7 million kilometers. And that's just 52 days before it will reach closest passage relative to 3I Atlas. But it seems that this coincidence is not surprising because there are 95 known moons of Jupiter circling around there. And Jupiter has the largest number of moons of any planet in the solar system. And it's really interesting what's going on at Jupiter. If you were to believe that 3I Atlas could be anything but natural, of course, when, let's say, someone sent out 3I Atlas as a spy ship, probe, unmanned, whatever, they would not target Earth because Earth was non-existent in a way that it is now. We were not there. So Jupiter is the larger planet, has a better gravity so that they can stay there. They could build like a base there. So we don't know that much. I mean, imagine EUPHEME was discovered in 2003 by the Mauna Kea observatories in Hawaii, by the way. And it is a member of this Ananke group. Like, we can say that it's a family of 15 moons that have similar orbits. And that's why scientists think that they have the same origin, that they came from a breakup of a parent body, piece of rock or whatever, that was then sucked in by Jupiter's gravity and was then fragmented into multiple pieces as a result of, most likely, from a collision with another object or even from Jupiter's tidal gravity itself. And they named the largest relic of that Ananke. That's why it's the Ananke group. Smaller pieces, probably 15 moons. And I mentioned it has a Greek origin. EUPHEME is the spirit of praise and good omen and the granddaughter of famous Zeus. So, or Zeus as the English speaking want to say. And yeah, you don't need to tell me in the comments. You might want to call this, if you're a native English speaker, EUPHEME. But let's talk about the proximity of the passage of 3I Atlas to the hill radius of Jupiter, because that would allow 3I Atlas to do something, to release probes or something like this into bound orbits around Jupiter. Because of the gravity that is there, if they're in the hill radius, they don't need much energy to stay there. And then, according to Avi Loeb, these small objects can become gravitationally bound to Jupiter as long as they receive basically a push that cancels the relative motion between 3I Atlas and Jupiter. And you know, here's the theory. It's interesting. I mean, March 16th is the date. That's really the date where we will see what is 3I Atlas going to do. Is it doing nothing? Is it leaving our solar system for good? Let's say we have 95 moons there right now. What if we discover moon number 96 around Jupiter after March 16th, 2026? Because that would mean that our buddy Interstellar Object 3I Atlas did release something, right? So that's what we're waiting for right now. So the basic idea is, we know that Interstellar Object 3I Atlas is very, very fast. It's a fast object coming from outside our solar system that will now pass very close, mysteriously close to Jupiter. And we know that Jupiter has this big invasive bubble of gravity around it, and that bubble, that's the hill radius, right? And inside this bubble, basically Jupiter can steal objects and turn them into moons. This is the plain language. So if 3I Atlas, let's say it breaks apart at exactly the right moment, not even sending, like natural, right? It breaks apart at exactly the right moment. Small pieces could fly off. One of those pieces could lose just enough speed. Jupiter's gravity could then capture it, and we have a new moon. Intentionally or unintentionally. Because that would mean? Jupiter gains a brand new moon. Will this happen? This is extremely strange what's going on here between Atlas and Jupiter. At closest approach, and this is important, 3i Atlas is moving past Jupiter at 66 kilometers per second, guys. This is insanely fast. I give you a comparison. Jupiter's own escape speed is 60 kilometers per second. So small objects like comets or asteroids, they cannot throw fast fragments faster than themselves. So a natural breakup cannot slow a fragment down enough and aim it perfectly to become a moon. That's why I said if we see moon number 96, this is the impossible part, and that really matters. At a distance further away, Jupiter's gravity is weak. So in order for something to become a moon, the fragment must lose speed to within 2.2 kilometers per second. So that means the slowdown must be very precise to a few percent. The direction must be perfectly aimed. Random explosions, let's make this clear. Random explosions or breakups from a natural object cannot do this. Comets cannot do this. Asteroids cannot do this. It would be like throwing a rock from like a speeding jet and having it then like gently land in a moving pickup truck, right? Slows down, lands exactly there from space. Nope, not possibly. So this is why a new moon would be shocking. So if they discover moon number 96, a new moon of Jupiter after March 16th, physics says this should not happen naturally. The speed and precision required are too extreme. That would suggest intentional engineering. That is why this would be a technical or technological signature. And who's watching this? Who can watch this, guys? We have the largest telescopes on Earth ready to watch that flyby. Juno. Juno is already orbiting Jupiter. So will they do this? Will they use Juno? I said it before and I asked that question. Will they try to use Juno to watch this? Hopefully, then every fragment will be tracked. Everything. So that's what we're all waiting for right now. And scientists are watching closely. And this comes all within, you've probably seen my video about the CIA that is saying, someone wanted information according to the Freedom of Information Act, and the CIA is saying, oh no, it's classified. Why? If it's a piece of rock. Watch that video in the end screen. I see you here in a second.